Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today, look what we're taking a look at. It's the Divo Knives Stout. I am really excited to do this review. I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to check this knife out. Why does my computer keep dinging at me? Shut up. Alright, there we go. Got that closed down. So, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about this knife at this point. For the three of you that haven't, Divo Knives is a company that was started by Kevin from the Lefty EDC channel. You're probably subscribed to that channel. If not, fix that. And he partnered up with a designer called Colin Mason Pierre from CM Knife Designs, and they started the Divo Knives company. And they haven't been around for long, but they have certainly come out of the gate swinging. And yeah, this is their first design, the Stout. So let's go ahead and get this review started off with a blade length measurement. We're going to go all the way to the back here. We're coming in under 3.5 inches, kind of between 3.25 and 3.5 inches. Sharpened edge is pretty much 3 inches exactly. So I think that's going to be a really good size for a lot of people. I think that's kind of the sweet spot EDC size. Let's do our comparisons. There's the Rat 1. And there's R2-D2. So yeah, kind of fits right between the two of those. You know, I've said this before, but it seems like most EDC knives are like right between the Rat 1 and 2, and like I kind of wonder why we don't have like a Rat, like, I don't know, 1.5 or something that's like right between them. I think a lot of people would like that. Next up, here it is against a Benchmade Bug Out. And the Spyderco PM2. Good deal, good deal. Let's go ahead and bring out our Civivis, because we have to. There is the Praxis. And here's the Elementum. There we go. And to close off size comparisons today, let's go ahead and bring out, I don't know, we'll bring out the QSP Penguin, because these are made by the same company, and I think there's some similarities between the two. And for our last size comparison, let's go ahead and bring out a real man's knife for people who use their shit. I'm just teasing. But there we go, that's all we're going to do for size comparisons. What do we have in terms of materials? We have there's a couple of different versions available, but they all have a 20 CV blade. They are all a titanium bolster lock. And I think, okay, so you can either get it with the micarta, or I think the other options are like the carbon fiber foil mixes. Just a second, I've got their website opened up on my computer here. So you can get a black wash blade, you can get this stone wash, which we'll talk about later. You can get the copper carbon fiber or the aluminum carbon fiber. Okay, so yeah, micarta or the copper or aluminum carbon fiber stuff, which is actually a really cool material. I think it looks really neat. Wire clip, and yeah. Thumb hole opening, well, blade hole opening, I guess. This is better as a reverse flicker, but there we go. Let's go ahead and go see it doing some cutting. Alrighty guys, we're going to be talking about the Divo Knives Stout. That rhymed. You know, you guys know that when I do these cutting videos, I like to come out and give you guys a little bit of a change of scenery, you know, show something pretty. And it's a Saturday evening right now, and I work Saturday mornings, but this evening after work, I just couldn't wait to come out here and do my knife cutting. And a buddy called me, he said, "Hey, let's go do something." You know, well, what are you up to? I said, "Oh, I'm busy today. I'm sorry, man. He said, well, what are you doing? And how do you explain, yeah, I'm driving out into the middle of the desert to cut cardboard with knives. It's a weird hobby. It's a really weird hobby. Anyways, the Divo Knives Stout. Really, really excited to handle this knife. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it. Designed by Kevin over at Lefty EDC. It's really kind of made waves this year. And for good reason, too. I think it's a really, really cool knife. The pre-order of these was a long time ago. At the time I'm filming this, like, the knives are getting delivered. I'm not sure when this video will go live, but, you know, it's a great knife. I'm sure they will be making more. And, yeah, I just want to give my 2 cents on it. So, let's go ahead and start discussing this knife. There's a raindrop. It is clouding up a little bit. I heard thunder earlier. Might rain. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's talk about the action first. How's that action? It's a knife from the D-Tint Diva. I'm sure all of you guys watch Lefty EDC, and if you don't, go subscribe. Like, what are you doing? But he's a snob for action. And this knife, the reverse flick, really, really good. Probably the most satisfying reverse flicker I've ever handled. I'm not a reverse flick aficionado like he is, but it's good. The closing action, very smooth. Yeah. Thumb flick, is not my favorite. You can do it, and the more I've carried the knife, the more I've gotten used to it. And it's a lot more satisfying now than it was when I first got the knife. But, you know, I definitely think the reverse flick is much better. Alrighty. Let's talk about the ergonomics. They knocked it out of the park. The handle is not contoured, but it feels very good while I'm back here. If you choke up here, it feels very good. You've got a nice little spot for your thumb up here. The ergonomics are excellent. They work very, very well. Especially with this type of blade. You know, you can hold it like this for your cutting, like this, your utility cuts. I can tell the ergonomics were thought out. Of course, full choil here, so you can get right behind the edge. Everything is knocked down softly, so even though it's not chamfered, the knife kind of has, you know, it's nice on the edges. It's rounded over. The spine is rounded. I maybe wish there was some jimping right here. But, you know, some people don't like jimping. I really like jimping. So that's just kind of a me thing. But, yeah, the ergonomics are great. The pocket clips, and same with this wire clip. I don't feel it in my hand at all, but, you know, pretty good. I like it. Very good ergonomics. Let's go ahead and talk about the carry. So, the knife folds up to a nice slim package. There's no flipper tab. It's not the thinnest thing, but it's also far from fat. And that wire clip, yeah, it works good. Get your hand down in there, move around, all that stuff. Yeah, if you're wearing, like, these are pretty thick jeans here, and as you can see there's a little bit of a struggle, but, you know, it's not bad. And I have other jeans that this knife just works better in, so, you know, that's just kind of one of those things. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the cutting performance. So this is M390 steel, I believe. Oh shoot, I forgot. They don't mark it on the blade. Do they mark it on the inside? Scales. It does not look like it. I'm pretty sure it's M390. I'm like 95% sure. Flat grind, sheep's foot blade, and actually, you know what? We're not going to do a behind the edge reading. This knife has I'm not sure who did this edge, but it's a very, very good edge. So, you know, it's not factory edge. I don't think there's really a point in measuring behind the edge thickness. And actually, is there a point in taking a behind the edge measurement for any of the knives I review? Because honestly, as we've discovered on this channel, sometimes behind the edge thickness doesn't really mean anything. It's more like how well the grind is executed. But anyways, that is neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and just get into how this knife cuts. Let's grab some cardboard. Woo! Yeah, you guys knew the utility cuts were going to be good because Kevin's all about utility cuts. Still, well, I think you guys saw that good enough. Very, very good cutter. Love that. Also, love the stonewash on this blade. Really, really nice. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a pull. Woo! Now, in the past, we've discovered that knives with this blade shape don't do good on this test. Let's see what we got. I think this little finger position here might help, but... Okay, yeah, it did about like sheep's foot and Wharncliffe blades usually do. Not that great. I do like that this is not a completely straight edge, though. There is a little bit of belly, which makes your slices a lot easier. Now, where did I put the pool noodle? Be right back. Get over here, you. Found it. All right. Okay. Honestly, it did not do as well as I thought it would. It kind of caught and snagged in a couple of places. And, interesting. I'm not sure exactly why. There might be some issues with the grind. I don't know. Kind of interesting. It did not do that very well on the pool noodle. It kind of bound up and was not very smooth going through. I could feel it kind of catching. Interesting. Did pretty well on most stuff, though, so let's go ahead and get to the table. Alrighty, let's talk about what I like and don't like about this knife. And I think I forgot to mention, but this was loaned into the channel by the man himself, Kevin Johnson at Lefty EDC. So thank you. Big thank you to Kev, because otherwise I probably would not have got to check this knife out. So I have no idea when this review is coming out. The pre-order for this model are done. This thing is sold out, but I'm pretty sure they'll do another run of these. And even if they don't, Divo Knives is coming out with a bunch of really, really cool stuff that I'm very excited for. But we're talking about this knife right now. So let's go ahead and get into what I'm liking and not liking. So first of all, I like the looks of this knife. This is not my usual style, and I would not say this is the most beautiful knife aesthetically to me, because it's not. There's still a lot of elements about this knife that just don't suit my tastes, but I do think it looks good, and a lot of that is a bolster lock. I love bolsters. I think it makes a knife look so classy, and you know, bolster locks are really, really cool. And so I think that really adds a lot to what I like about the knife. The other thing too is I like a lot of the small little design details, like you see this little scoop here on the blade, how it folds in right here. Stuff like this makes me happy. I like seeing little design features like that. I don't know why, but it just kind of makes me smile when I see things that match up all smooth like that. So that's cool. Another thing I love that I didn't know I was going to love until I got this knife in hand is the blade finish. This stonewash is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You guys know how much I love stonewashes, and this is one of the best stonewashes ever. Like this is a fantastic stonewash. I love that. I've handled other knives from QSP, but every knife I've handled from them has been a satin. I did not know they did such a good stone wash. I did not know. Another thing too, when I did the unboxing for this video, I said that I thought this was the Kunwu version. I don't know why I said that. I'm dumb. This is the QSP version. These are the ones that, you know, if you pre-order the knife, this is what you're getting. I was just being stupid. But yeah, this stone wash is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm a huge fan. That was one of the first things I noticed when I unboxed this knife was, dang, that is a good looking stone wash, because it's a heavy stone wash. And for me, with stone washes, the heavier, the better. It just looks fantastic. So, and also I find it a little bit odd because Kevin is such a huge fan of satin finishes. I thought for sure these were going to be satin. But I'm really glad they went stone wash. I think that looks really good. I think it blends really well with the titanium on the bolsters. I think the blade and the titanium they flow together really well. And I think that's awesome. While we were zoomed in so close here, I like their pivot. I like how they put their branding in the pivot. And also I just like you see how it's reflecting the light like that? I love stuff like that. I don't know why. Like, it doesn't really add anything to the knife in any meaningful way, but I like it. It's cool. So yeah, I like that. Next thing, I like the clip. I'll be honest, I have not really carried a whole lot of knives with wire clips, and while I was carrying this knife, I just noticed that I like wire clips. Like, this is good. It's reversible, of course. That's going to be important for a lot of lefties, as you might expect, since, you know, the designer of this knife is a lefty. But I really appreciate that. I thought the wire clip was really good. Works great in and out of the pocket. Has good retention. And, you know, in my mind, it kind of mitigates, you know, some of the issues of having a pocket clip, like it getting hung up on things or scratching things. Yeah, I like wire clips. And in the hand, the clip disappears. You can't feel it. So let's go on to the next thing. The ergonomics on this knife are solid. They're really good. You have this poon spoon here for your thumb to rest in when you're choked up. Very good grip here. I can see this being a fantastic grip for, you know, if you're doing some long slicing cuts. We'll get back to the blade in just a second, but yeah, really good for that type of stuff. Even if you're choked back here, it's not uncomfortable. This area is now rounded off nicely, and it kind of pushes into my palm. If they had not rounded this off as well as they did, that would have been a huge issue. But as it is, it's not. And in fact, the entire knife is rounded over and softened on all these corners really nicely. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. One of the benefits of having a bolster lock is you have the lock bar cut out on the inside, or even if you have it, like, I guess on the outside of this area here, it's covered by the scale material, so you don't get any, you know, hot spots off of that. So yeah, really good. The micarta, it's not, the knife isn't contoured, but like I said, it has like this rounding all the way around it. The rounding all the way around, yes. And yeah, you know, it feels decent. It's decently hand-filling, and yeah, the ergonomics are fantastic. They're really great. This choil here is kind of a 50-50 choil, where part of it's on the blade and part of it comes back into the handle, and I like that. I think that's the best way to do a choil, because you get a lot of edge. Because, you know, okay, a little bit of a tangent here, but when you have a finger choil especially, you're always giving up sharpened edge. So let's look at this Sencut Tainan. It has this full-size finger choil on the blade. You're sacrificing a little bit of edge. You know, if you want to have this finger choil, which I like the finger choil on this knife, it's very good to get up in there and, you know, for your detailed work, but you are sacrificing some sharpened edge. And on a knife like this that doesn't have a whole lot of blade to begin with, you might want to optimize as much sharpened edge as you can. This is a great way to kind of work around that, because you get a full-size choil, but since it's 50-50 between the blade and the handle, you get as much edge as possible while still getting just that perfect spot to choke up into. So I really like that. The ergonomics of this knife are just thought out really nicely. And yeah, I really appreciate that. And this is kind of like what I was talking about earlier, just aesthetically, this scoop out here, how it all matches up so cleanly. I like that. That's good. So yeah, the ergonomics, that was another thing that I talked a lot about in the unboxing was the ergonomics just really, really impressed me. And yeah, good job on ergonomics. Very, very nice. So good ergonomics are very, very important, but they don't really matter if the blade isn't good, right? So how's this blade? It's really good. So what we can see here is we have a very nice sheep's foot blade. Kind of looks like a bird in a lot of ways. You know, it's got like the, you know, there's the eye, and you have like this big beak. It kind of looks like a terror bird. You know, actually, Dylan Mallory, he has that design out called the Forest, and I believe that name comes from the Forest Rackidae, which is the group of prehistoric birds known as terror birds. They lived kind of in the early parts of the Cenozoic era, and they in South America mostly, but there was a couple from like Texas and places like that. And they were just these huge birds that would they'd hunt you know, like early horse ancestors, mammals, things like that. They were apex predators of their time. And actually, there was at least one species, Castornis, which was an herbivore. But yeah, this just kind of reminds me of a terror bird, like maybe a. Anyways, we're gonna get off the nerd topic for a second. It's a very good blade, sheep's foot blade. It's got a flat grind. I didn't measure the thickness behind the edge because this came to me with this beautiful mirrored edge on here. I don't know who did that, maybe Divo Knives, but it cut very, very well. Especially for like your utility cuts and stuff. This little thing here, purpose built. Get your finger in there for your utility cuts. Get up here and cut like that. The edge is not completely straight. It's got just a little bit of belly, and so that makes slicing a little bit easier. It's a good cutter. It's not a laser beam, but it's a really good cutter. And I want to draw some special attention to kind of the swedges and stuff on this blade. Don't focus on the dinosaurs in the back. I really like the swedges and stuff here. Come on, focus on the knife. Focus on the knife. This swedge here is nice, like how it kind of reflects the light and stuff, but also the rounding, like they kind of crowned the spine in a lot of places, and that gives it a really premium feel, and that also helps a knife pass through materials like cardboard a little easier. Just, I don't really know why, but I've just, in my experience, knives that have a crowned spine just pass through things like cardboard a little bit easier. So yeah, it's a good performer for an EDC knife. Yeah, it works fantastic. You want to cut out your shipping labels and whatever else Kevin pretends to do when he's using his knives. Yeah, you can do that. Good stuff. Alrighty, next thing, let's talk about the action. It's good. I knew it would be good. Just because Kevin is who he is, he's like the biggest action snob on YouTube. I knew the action would be good, and yeah, it is. This is probably the best reverse flicker I've ever handled. That hole is shaped really, really well. It's rounded on the inside, like it's not sharp in here, but the way the hole is shaped allows you to get your finger in there and flick it open really, really good. You can flick it with your thumb, but it's not the most intuitive. It took me a little bit of practice to get the hang of it, and now, as you can see, I can do it no problem, but it did take a little bit of, I guess, getting used to it. It's not the most intuitive thumb hole. But yeah, the action is very, very good on the close. Yeah. Really, really nice. I'm a big fan of that. Next thing, I believe the hardware is all T8s. I must confess, I did not check that. I did not take this knife apart because I didn't feel like I need to, and I'm not just going to take apart a knife unprovoked. You know, where did I put my driver? There it is. Yeah, it feels like T8s. T8. Whoa, I think the pivot's actually a T10. So awesome. I like that. Good stuff there. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. Oh, one more. Yeah, you know what, actually, let's go ahead and get into some of my complaints and nitpicks. So the first thing, this isn't really a complaint or a nitpick, I don't know. But, so you can see here that there's really no access to the lock bar. But I never really had a problem getting to it. So, it feels different than like your standard frame lock or liner lock disengagement, but it's not bad. In fact, you know, they've got like this little chamfer in there, and it kind of feels like they raised this area just a little bit. I don't know. It didn't really bother me in use, and as you can see here, like, you know, it's fine, but it was something that I just noticed as being different. So it might, you know, might bother some people. I don't know. Next thing, I don't really like the lock bar cutout here. I don't know. It just seems a little bit gappy to me. Seems a little bit weird. You know, you've got like everything else in this knife just flows so nicely. Everything's just, you know, it kind of all just flows into itself. And then you flip it over and it's like, ah! I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but it kind of bothers me. Also, you can see there that the steel lock bar insert like sticks up above the titanium. I've never seen that before. And I mean, I guess it works. Like the lockup is solid, but I don't know. I just found that a little bit weird. Not a bad thing though. Like not really a complaint. And then I wish there was jimping up here, but that's, you know, that's really just me. I like jimping. Like it's soft up here, but it's like slippery and stuff. And I like jimping. I like jimping. So that's kind of my biggest complaint is that there's no jimping there. And then the thumb flick, again, like after 1 or 2 days of just carrying this around, I adjusted to the thumb flick, to the thumb flick. Jeez, I can't speak. But I do wish it was a little easier. And I maybe the way to do that would leave the hole a little bit sharp up here just so it catches your thumb better. But, you know, again, it's a complaint that really holds no water because, look, I completely adjusted to it. So feel free to completely disregard that point. One thing I am going to pick on them a little bit about is no blade steel markings on the knife. And I don't think they have them on the inside. I know some companies do that. I don't see any evidence of that here. You know, I get wanting to keep it clean and whatever, but I don't know. I just like having a blade steel marking. Not a huge deal though. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to my final conclusions. So, these knives are sold out. I'm pretty sure they'll bring these knives back. I think it'd be a crime to not do another run of these. But when these went for about about $290, kind of in that ballpark. And for a first offering from a small company, yeah, I think that's a good deal. And as far as a first offering goes, they hit it out of the park. This is a very, very good model for them to start with. Real quick, I want to talk a little bit about the pouch it comes with. Divo Knives. Divo, of course, since Lefty EDC is the Detent Diva. But I really like this pouch. It's like leathery and nylon and stuff. And you open it up and every knife comes with a really cheap fidget spinner because Kevin's now a fidget dude. No, I'm just kidding. I picked this up off somewhere for that joke. And then you've got this nice little pouch in here. Very, very soft in here. Just, yeah, really good stuff. I like their pouches. They're pretty cool. And they give you a gold tallywhacker, so, you know, you can twirl your mustache and feel good about yourself. And I'm so fancy. Love the packaging. The presentation and everything is really good with these. So, I think it's worth the price. If you got these on pre-order, congratulations. I wish I had been able to get this on pre-order when these went live. I was not in a place where I could spend money like that on a knife, but I'm so glad I got to handle it now because, yeah, it's definitely worth it. My personal opinions on this knife. I'm glad that I got to handle this while I'm at college instead of, you know, in the summer when I'm working in the woods. This is a knife that I would absolutely EDC all the time in the city, you know, at college and stuff when I'm not out in the woods doing manly shit. This is just a really, really well-designed EDC knife. And if I wasn't a knife reviewer, this is the type of design that I think I could, you know, just have this knife, really. I mean, I guess if I wasn't a reviewer and an enthusiast collector, I think this is a knife design that I'd be absolutely happy with saying, yeah, you know, this is kind of my only knife. You know, I have my EDC knife, my hard use knife, my hard use folder, and then, you know, my fixed blade, and, you know, those are my knives. Yeah, this would be kind of a one and done EDC knife. Great size, great shape. You know, you can get your slices, but your utility cuts are really, really easy. You've got the nice fidget ability, if that matters to you. Low profile to carry, easy to carry, just really, really good little knife. I'm going to go ahead and read off of Divo Knives' own website their description of this knife, and we'll see if I think they achieve their goal. Introducing the Divo Stout. This is the first release from Divo Knives, and we couldn't be more excited. We set out to design a tough, everyday carry knife with a unique blade profile made to handle whatever is thrown at it, while keeping a touch of class with the titanium bolsters and your choice of micarta or copper-infused carbon fiber handle scales. Named after a stout beer, this knife is strong, smooth, and will be sure to make your day a little bit better. Does it live up to their manifesto? Yeah, I think it absolutely does. I think they absolutely hit the ball out of the park and achieved what they were going for. So, keep your eye on Divo Knives. Even if this knife isn't your style, they're coming out with a lot of knives here in the next few months, years, hopefully for a long, long time, that might just catch your eye. I'm really excited to see what they keep doing, and I'm very impressed that this was their first design, because this is a fantastic knife. Does it get the Gideon seal of approval? 100%. If I was going to give this knife a letter grade, I would give it an A+. Very good knife, very well thought out, flawlessly executed by QSP. Great knife. I'm really, really happy I got to handle it. So thank you again to Lefty EDC, and all of you guys should check out his channel. All right, that's going to be it from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Gideon. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.